We are two guys playing Zelda. I'm Hick, this is Red.
We're here to drink a few beers and have a little Q&A session with some Zelda-related questions.
And have some good Zelda discussion, because that's what makes this fun, so just sit back, relax, and have some fun with it.
Phantom Rockman asked, how many dungeons should a good Zelda game have? And I think we're pretty close to agreeing on this one, actually.
About 25. About 25, because I want to play Zelda forever.
It'd be the longest game of all time.
Yeah, it would be. But in all honesty, I think around 10 is a good number. Like, I've always liked the concept of having 3 dungeons before the Master Sword. Like, you go and get your 3 pendants, you get the Master Sword, and then you kind of, or whatever sword is in the game, and then you kind of go through the second part of the game.
And it really stands out to me when a game has too few dungeons.
Yes.
I mean, you think Wind Waker, Majora's Mask. It's just, to me, it seems like the game ends too soon when you only have 4 or 5 dungeons.
And also, the more dungeons we have, the more areas we have to explore.
Yes.
Like, a good example is Twilight Princess. Like, all those areas you went to, like, you know, snow, desert, forest. So, like, the more dungeons you have, like, you get to go to more places.
And it also kind of goes along with, like, the different dungeon, the themes of the dungeon.
Yes,
like, you get a forest temple, you get a water temple, you get an earth temple, fire temple.
You're less likely to miss those themed dungeons.
Exactly.
Now, another thing, I always like the final boss being separate, kind of like Skyward Sword. I've never been a huge fan of like Ganon's Castle or Ganon's Tower. Like, you know those ones where it's kind of like more like a challenge and you fight the final boss. I like the final dungeon to be like a main full dungeon and then go fight the final boss somewhere else.
So for once, you know, we actually what was
your actual number though? I'm about 10.
I said 8 or 9, so 10.
Wait, you just realized I go 10. You said 8 or 9, and then you said 10.
I said 8 or 9, you know, or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
so you're gonna agree with me?
No, I'm saying 8 or 9.
Okay. Well, okay. You gotta choose one. Choose 8 or 9.
9.
9.
Like I said, more is better.
Nerd Army asks, what makes Zelda such a great franchise and game?
Now, there's a lot of potential answers to this question.
And a lot of opinions, too, actually.
And for me, what jumps out most is the sense of exploration. Like, I grew up on a farm with woods,
never knew that.
fields.
I've known you my whole life. I never knew that.
And it's just that idea of exploring such a huge overworld and so many secrets, it really appealed to me.
Yeah. For me, it's longevity. Like, when we first started playing Zelda, when Link to the Past came out, and we were very young. And
yes, we were.
You know, we've kind of grown up with Zelda, like, as it's grown. It's been there for really my whole life.
And along with that longevity, they keep managing to introduce new gameplay ideas, new techniques, new elements that just every game still feels fresh, even though there's how many Zelda games now?
I think somewhere around 17. There might be more than that.
A lot of them, and yet every one still feels like unique and fresh because they do keep introducing new things.
It's like a whole new adventure, really.
It
never feels like the adventure you just last played. Now, for me, I also like it has many different concepts of a game, like item collection, puzzle solving, adventure and exploring, like you were talking about, combat. I mean, just like it brings all those, like, usually a game that has 1 or 2 of those, like it's like, you know, a certain genre. This Zelda has a little bit of everything.
And I also really like how the story, like, it's such a story-driven game, and you don't get that a lot in gaming, but every single game manages to bring you in, like, emotionally, get invested. And they've managed to make it span the entire Zelda franchise and tie it together really well.
And then lastly, how about the music? I mean, the music over every game, whether it be the original, I mean, even that dungeon theme is still kind of, you know, legendary. I guess it'd be a good word.
Really is.
Like, just the music over an entire series, like, I mean, it's delivers some of my, you know, favorite songs
it really
in
is.
gaming.
So, like we said, there's a lot of reasons why Zelda is such a great franchise.
Jutandy asks, what's the best Zelda game to start with if you never played Zelda before? I had the DS, the 3DS, and the Wii U.
My recommendation is...
I'm trying to memorize that question, so it gets a little tough sometimes.
But my recommendation is you get on the eShop for your Wii U and grab Link to the Past. And I'll be honest, I'm saying that mostly because it was the first one I played.
It's the first one I played. That's actually one of my recommendations. My other recommendation is Ocarina of Time. And the main reason is those 2 games revolve around the main storyline of Zelda. So
they really set it up.
Yeah, they're just both great games to start off with.
And I guess it kind of comes down a little bit to your preference of, like, retro gaming with, like, a top-down 2D 16-bit game in Link to the Past, or Ocarina of Time was like the first 3D Zelda game, so your preference there will play into it as well.
And almost also how much time you want to spend on them. Like, Link to the Past, you can actually be pretty fast. Like, maybe 5 or 6 hours if you're a decent gamer. But Ocarina of Time takes a lot longer, so
it does.
Do you want to kind of get the experience like quickly to understand it, or do you want like a big exploring game that might take a little longer?
If you do go Ocarina of Time, highly recommend the 3D remake on the 3DS. It's basically like the definitive version of Ocarina of Time. It does.
If you use a 3D slider, it also has that 3D effect to it also. But
it does.
A few mechanics that makes the game like a little bit easier. But I guess for both of us, either Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time would be a great game to start with.
Nerd Army asks, do we prefer having themed dungeons in most Zelda games, or would we rather there be no theme at all? And if we do like the themes, what new themes would we like?
Really, it has to have a theme, because if you don't have a theme, like, you basically just have walls and floors, and that's it. So you really gotta have a theme.
And my biggest thing is it makes each dungeon throughout the game look unique. They stand out a little bit. And it also, for us, it makes it a lot easier to talk about them, to discuss them, and debate them for our channel.
And they also go along with certain areas, in the game. So, like, you kind of get to explore the different areas that come along with those themed dungeons. So, yes, we do like the themed dungeons. And really, I mean, you almost kind of got to have them.
You do. And to the last part of your question, though, it's hard to think of any new themes they haven't really explored already. I mean, we've done this before, and all we could really come up with is, like, you could do it like a mud
and a clock. We came with like a mud and a clock theme. Like, if you sit down and really think about it, the Zelda franchise has done almost every theme they really could do. But if you think of more, like, leave it in the comments. We'd be,
there you go,
curious to hear what you think. And we were kind of thinking about light a little bit, like the Spirit Temple, Earth Temple,
Stone Tower,
Wind Waker, Stone Tower Temple. Those have kind of already did an element of light, so that's kind of when it's already been used in a way. But we do like the main themes of the dungeons, and there's a couple new ones, but there's not many that they haven't really done yet.
Alright guys, thank you for checking out this Zelda Mailbags, where myself and other popular YouTubers like McIntyre Productions, HMK, Commonwealth Realm, RMFH, 2Button Crew, Sazizi, and many others answer your Zelda questions. If you like this, please subscribe and thumb up. It really helps. You may also be interested in some of my past Zelda theories or Zelda Wii U news videos. In fact, I post a brand new Zelda theory every week, usually around Wednesdays. If you do subscribe, you'll be notified as soon as each new video goes up, and you'll never have to worry about missing out on great Zelda content. Be sure to leave your thoughts below, and let me know what you would like to see in a new Zelda theory. Then, check out some of my other Zelda theories or mailbags. And as always, thank you for watching.